Good evening, everywhere, globally. Peace, greetings, salutations. Hola, wherever, whatever. Once again, you are joining us live online podcast, Chit Chat Chew Show, which streams every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if you're in the PST time zone, that would be from 4 to 6. If you're in other time zones, unfortunately, I don't know those, to be honest, but I'm sure as long as you know that Eastern Standard Time is 7 to 9, then we can all work it out. So,
and if you miss it, you can always check the replay online. It's
definitely check the replay. Push that replay, share that replay, make that replay go viral. So again, we welcome you to the Chit Chat Chew Show online streaming podcast. I am one of the co-hosts, Aisha, also known as Jade.
And I'm the other co-host, Uno, for Chit Chat Chew Show podcast.
So we have some good topics for February. We have topics such as International Boost Self-Esteem Awareness Week or Month. We have National Eating Disorder Awareness. We have Black History Month, which personally is 365 days out of the year. It is not just February.
All day, every day.
Yes. And we also have, what was the other one we have as well?
We have teen dating violence awareness.
So they're all very interesting topics to discuss. If you want to chime in, I have been informed that you can put your comments, thoughts, questions, concerns into the comment box. We love the dialogue. If you didn't know, we're letting you know we love the dialogue, so you don't have to be scared. You can listen, which is great. We're not trying to push you, but we encourage you to please leave
commentary, please.
Yes, and if you don't want to leave it here, if you want to leave it on one of our like my Facebook timeline or even Uno's Facebook timelines, we will definitely put the question out there and let's just get this thing, started. So the first one that we're going to start off with is the International Boost Your Self-Esteem. So just waiting for it to load up. It's taking a little bit of time here. Okay. Again, February is International Boost Self-Esteem Month. We all need it. Adults, children. It's very important because I know a lot of people tend to suffer with self-esteem, whether they're a child or whether they're an adult. It's when you're constantly knocking your own self, or if you have, an individual or individuals who are knocking you, bringing down your self-esteem. I mean, that plays a lot in your brain. It could shift in another direction that you'll wind up believing what people say about you. And I can speak from personal experience that growing up, I've had family and friends, or so-called friends, in relationships, you name it, really like knock my self-esteem, tell me I was nothing, just all different types of funky stuff, as I call it. But today, let me tell you, not to say I'm 100% cured, because sometimes I have to be honest, based on the trauma that I experienced in my life from a child to my adulthood. There's some things that I may still suffer with as far as the self-esteem, but I have grown. I've gotten so much better. It all comes down to me personally with loving yourself, learning how to love yourself, learning how to respect yourself, learning how to say those positive and encouraging things about yourself, positive affirmations, being around positive people, just having, a lot of positive people, places, situations, and things around you. You know, no one's perfect, and you're going to have those bad days where you just, you know, you may not be feeling it, but it's all about how you can regroup yourself and get yourself back into the swing of things, you know, and don't let, you know, people's words always, you know, like, I guess, influence you to the point where, you know, you just don't believe in your self-worth. Me and Uno, we always talk about self-worth and all those self-care, all of that, to just constantly remind you, not only, you know, not just for ourselves on a daily, but for you guys as well. You know, sometimes it may be hard to look in the mirror. I know for me, it took me a long time to really look in the mirror and look at myself, because I didn't like myself based on other people's views, excuse me. But, you know, they're miserable, but I can look at myself a hell of a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I can look at myself. So, you know, we just want to dive into this. And so it says here, this is about Self-Esteem Month. You know, learning personal brain training, reviews ways to boost your child's self-esteem, because we all know kids cannot be so nice in today's society. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially in today's society. They weren't so nice when I was growing up, but it's like out of control now in today's society. The way that a lot of kids have a lot of different peer pressure going on, bullying going on, you know, kids just being mean.
Trying to fit in, but can't fit in because they don't fit the mold of what all the other kids are like, as far as popularity and being in cliques. Yeah, it's more of a struggle now. Like you said, it's harder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
So this is coming from the learningrx.com/Fort Collins. Learning RX is the world's largest personal brain training company. Is sharing tips to help boost your child's self-esteem. Here's some highlights from the article, Overcoming Shyness, helping your child succeed in school and life. I wish I probably could have had this, because I grew up being very shy and timid, scared of my own shadow. Unfortunately, didn't have those tools back then on how to, you know, kind of, I guess, protect myself, or, you know, what to do in the event if someone, you know, was going to bother me or something like that. I just took it like a little G. But now I'm an older cougar G, honey, and it's just not happening. Nope, it's just not happening. So 1, remind them of past successes. Highlighting past successes doesn't have to mean just verbally reminding a child that they did something well. It could include framing a photo of their best dance recital, placing awards or trophies in a place of prominence, placing an announcement in the newspaper or family newsletter, or asking them to mentor a younger child on the piano. You can also brag to family members or friends within earshot of your child, or encourage a child just for attempting something new, or whatever you think might work in the best positive way. These are just examples. 2, provide opportunities for new successes. Consider activities in which they can succeed and build self-esteem in art class, music lessons, individual or team sports, mentoring younger children, or helping serve others through volunteer work. 3, get to the root of the problem. According to Dr. Ken Gibson, author of Unlock the Einstein Inside, applying new brain science to wake up the smart in your child. Kids often beat themselves up over low academic performance. It's an endless cycle to try to raise the self-esteem of kids who aren't performing well, especially if they're placed into special education instead of trying to address the weak cognitive skills. Gibson recommends one-on-one brain training to target weak cognitive skills. When learning is faster and easier, kids tend to have more confidence. it says to hear firsthand how Learning RX has helped boost the confidence of more than 100,000 children, teens, and adults. You can go visit www.studentsshoutouts.com. Learning RX is headquartered in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's the largest one-on-one brain training organization in the world, with 80 centers in the U.S. and locations in over 40 countries around the globe. It has helped more than 100,000 individuals and families sharpen their cognitive skills to help them think faster, learn faster, and perform better. Their on-site programs partner every client with a personal brain trainer to keep clients engaged, accountable, and on task, a key advantage over online-only brain exercises. Their pioneering methods have been used in clinical settings for over 35 years and have been verified as beneficial in peer-reviewed research papers and journals. So I encourage everyone, it's not just for kids, it's for kids, young adults, and adults. I encourage you to check out www.learningrx.com/Fort Collins. And it just kind of puts me in mind when, they'll be quick a lot of times, these schools, to place you in special need classes instead of really getting to the root of things. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been classified as special need, or even they didn't call it special need when I was going to school, they just called you retarded.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're already a shy individual, right? And you don't know how to protect yourself or stand up for yourself, you're shy, you're already being bullied, you're in a special need or quote unquote retarded class, you're going on the yellow school bus, right, or a small bus, and then you have these kids who are not in those, who are not exposed to that. I mean, it's a horrible thing. And being a person, again, who was in a special need class, but again, they called it retarded class. I got bullied. I got picked on. I didn't know how to read or write, to be honest with you, but I'm so blessed and fortunate today. I can write my ass off. I can print. I can speak well.
Very well. Actually.
Okay. I can articulate. So I'm just blessed and fortunate that I did have teachers, some teachers then that did care, and it was beyond a paycheck. Okay, because a lot of today's teachers, and I'm not saying all, so this does not apply to all, but to those that it does apply to, you're just in it for a paycheck. I was a parent and an advocate of my kids, doing my best to make sure that what they needed, they got. That meant I spent a lot of time at their schools, and I wanted to know first and last names of teachers. It had gotten to the point I had personal cell phones and home phone numbers. That's just how much of a advocate, activist, and more importantly, a parent, a mother who cared about her children's education. So I encourage you to please, as often as you can, stay in contact with the teachers, get to know them first, last name, just like get to know them. And you don't always have to settle for what they say. If you feel uncomfortable or if you're unsure about something, ask. Who cares if it gets on their nerves?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. And your children deserve the best education that they can, because everyone cannot afford a Catholic school, and nothing against it. Everyone cannot afford a Catholic school or a private school education. There are good systems out here as far as public schools. You just have to apply yourself as a parent. You cannot drop your kids off and think that that is their daycare or that's their place for you to drop them off while you do what you have to do. I understand that you have to do what you have to do. I'll be the first to say, but you also have to be in your child or your children's lives.
Have to.
Like that's not even questionable. So
it's not a if, it's a must.
Exactly.
That's a must. You have to be.
Absolutely. So please definitely check this out at in your spare time.
I mean, yes, because the youth, especially now, they need the proper guidance to take them in the right direction in their lives. We need a lot of role models, and adults have to step up and do whatever they have to do to ensure that the youth gets everything they need, not just on a materialistic level. It has to go beyond that. On an intellectual level, on a spiritual level, on a physical level, mental level, emotional level. You want to make sure they're equipped for the real world, and that's just what it is. And always talk to them, let them know, that who they are and how great they are, what they can become. Always encourage them, always say positive things to them, because those words mean a lot. And, representation is everything. So we got to keep that in mind. So what the youth look up to, whoever they look up to, that's who they look up to. So we definitely, as adults, have to set examples and making sure that they're okay, especially mentally. Because since we're talking about low self-esteem, boosting self-esteem, again, it's just important to reassure them, give them confidence, let them know their worth, let them know how great they are. And that's the most important thing. You can't just brush them off. And the parents, you can't do that either. You can't just brush it off. You can't just throw them some trinkets and think, that's going to satisfy your kids, because it's not. You have to do more than that. You got to step up and be a leader for your children. And that's just what it is. So I definitely agree with everything you said, Jade. I mean, yeah, definitely. You got to take initiative. Yeah, you got to step up. That's all I got to say to that. So I do have an article from hpalivewell.com. This headline is reading, February is International Boost Self-Esteem Month, so help avoid clinical depression. Okay, so of course, let me just add in, tie into what Jay's saying, and if I repeat something, excuse me in advance. Okay, so self-esteem is just, simply put, how you feel about yourself. While our self-esteem begins to develop in early childhood, it is not set in stone. In fact, self-esteem is ever changing throughout your life. There may be times when your self-esteem is at an all-time high, and others when it has taken an undesirable dip, perhaps due to a stressful life event or mental health struggle, like clinical depression. Everyone has the power to develop their self-esteem independent of help from others, and the benefits are significant. So that's just basically a quick summary of what self-esteem is, simply put. Now, the other headline reads, Stop the Negative Self-Talk. How do you describe yourself? Intelligent, stupid, beautiful, ugly, kind? The labels we assign ourselves are endless, and often the negative outweigh the positives. Yet, these labels are not just meaningless words that flow in and out of our heads. They become ingrained and begin to shape our perceptions, self-esteem, and even contribute to mental health concerns like clinical depression. So, pay attention to your self-talk and how critical you are. Do you nitpick each and every flaw you have? With increased awareness, you can begin to catch yourself when negative thoughts come up and begin to challenge and change them. The next headline is accept your flaws. As human beings, we all have flaws, things we wish we could change or improve upon within ourselves. Yet, to stop these flaws from overpowering our self-esteem, it is important to separate the flaws that can be worked on from those which are unchangeable. For those unchangeable flaws, there are really only two choices. You mull over it, or you can choose acceptance. With acceptance, you can begin to move further away from personal struggle, whether it be clinical, depression, or simply low self-esteem. Okay, so then the other one reads, I just wanted to read a brief section of accept your flaws, but the next headline is celebrate your strengths. Celebrating your strengths is simply activity to incorporate into daily life, and it only has to take up 5 minutes of your time. Take a moment to yourself once per day to reflect on what your personal strengths are. These can be things you like about yourself physically, but think also in terms of your personality, your abilities, your relationships, etc. And they threw out a couple examples in this article actually. I make my friends laugh. I show love for my significant other. I am good caretaker for my animals. Just a couple examples. Something simple like that. Then the last headline is practical self-care. Taking better care of yourself is one of the quickest ways to provide an instant self-esteem boost, but also one of the easiest things to ignore when you're not feeling up to the task. Practicing self-care takes effort, and we can all find reasons not to do it. Maybe daily life stress or clinical depression has gotten in the way, and while it may take a bit of planning, practicing self-care is a must for positive self-esteem. Self-care means, which we always talk about on the show. We always talk about that on our show. Self-care, highlighted, all caps, self-care. Okay. Self-care.
Hashtag self-care.
Yeah, hashtag self-care. Self-care means focusing on yourself and your needs through things like getting sufficient sleep, nourishing your body appropriately, engaging in daily hygiene, and participating in activities that promote a sense of peace and well-being. Examine your current self-care practices and identify where you may be lacking. By boosting your self-care routine, you will feel better about yourself, and things like clinical depression will be easier to manage. So yeah, I just wanted to read that section of that part in the headline, self-care. I mean, yes, I know self-esteem. I know that's a work in progress,
Yes.
But those approaches that they mentioned in the article are good ways to channel your low self-esteem and actually brighten your day and your life, and actually achieving towards working on a better you and feeling good about yourself. So I thought that was a cool article to read, and it's definitely some tools that if any of you suffer with low self-esteem or battle or have any trouble with low self-esteem, you can apply these tools to your life to make your life better.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, it's a work in progress, and no one's perfect, as much as probably there's a lot of people that think that they are. But for me, I am not perfect. I do not claim to be perfect. I have my good days and I have my bad days. And some of my bad days, again, does include working on my self-esteem. And being an individual that live with a diagnosis, I work every day to try my best on how to not let it take control of me, but I take control of it. And just my overall well-being, mentally, physically, and spiritually, as well as financially, because they all connect for me. I don't know about nobody else. So it's every day. It's a daily thing, one moment at a time. And I like those. They're reminders.
Yeah, always reminders. You always want the reminders in your life when you're slipping up, when you forgetting who you are and what your worth is. Those reminders will always keep you on point. So that's definitely some great tools you can use. Definitely.
And I have some more. So again, if I repeat anything that Uno has already said already, just take it as a friendly reminder. This is coming from Allison Abrams from Psychology Today. Her title is 8 Steps to Improving Your Self-Esteem. What is the story you tell yourself? So these 8 steps following are 8 steps you can take to increase your feelings of self-worth. Be mindful. We can't change something if we don't recognize that there is something to change. By simply becoming aware of our negative self-talk, we begin to distance ourselves from the feelings it brings up. This enables us to identify with them less. Without this awareness, we can easily fall into the trap of believing our self-limiting talk. And as meditation teacher Alan Locos says, don't believe everything you think. Thoughts are just that, thoughts. And I remember being like in a mindfulness class, they said something similar to that. You know, it can be very easy with that negative self-talk. You start believing what you be really saying. Like, it's crazy.
That mind is a powerful thing.
Yes, you have to be very careful sometimes of the things that you think, the words that you say.
Words have power.
Excuse me. 2, change the story. We all have a narrative or a story we've created about ourselves that shapes our self-perceptions upon which our core self-image is based. If we want to change that story, we have to understand where it came from and where we receive the messages we tell ourselves. Whose voices are we internalizing? That's so very, very true. Sometimes automatic negative thoughts like you're fat or you're lazy can be repeated in your mind so often that you start to believe they are true. And that is so very true. When you start doubting yourself, talking down about yourself, you honestly, that's true. I'm a witness to that. You honestly start beginning that and you accept it.
Right.
You accept it. These thoughts are learned, which means they can be unlearned. You can start with affirmations. That's something I said. What do you wish you believed about yourself? Repeat these phrases to yourself every day. So if you're feeling kind of down about yourself, do some affirmations. Repeat those phrases every day to yourself. Because again, it says these thoughts are learned, which mean they can be unlearned. Thomas Boyce, PhD, supports the use of affirmations. Research conducted by Boyce and his colleagues have demonstrated that fluency training in positive affirmations, for example, writing down as many different positive things you can about yourself in a minute, can lessen symptoms of depression as measured by self-report using the Beck Depression Inventory. Large numbers of written positive statements are correlated with greater improvement. While they have had, let me say that again, while they have a bad reputation because of late night TV, Boyce says positive affirmations can help. Another one is avoid falling into the compare and despair rabbit hole. Again, that is avoid falling into the compare and despair rabbit hole. That's 2 key things I emphasize are to practice acceptance and stop comparing yourself to others. Ooh, we have a habit of doing that.
Ooh.
I emphasize that just because someone else appears happy on social media or even in person doesn't mean they are happy. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I emphasize that just because someone else appears happy on social media or even in person doesn't mean they are happy. Comparisons only lead to negative self-talk, which leads to anxiety and stress. Feelings of low self-worth can negatively affect your mental health as well as other areas in your life, such as work, relationships, and physical health. Oh, I am a witness to this. I have done it. I still do it from time to time, but not as much. But still, time to time is too much. Okay, so I've had those experiences before, and it can beat you up inside because you're so busy saying, well, why can't I be like that person? Or why can't I have what that person have? That person is so lucky to have this, that, and the third. Well, really, you don't really know. And even if he or she did have it, that doesn't mean that they're always happy, because we as people put faces on, honey.
We can fake it so well.
We fake it. Ooh, we fake it till we make it, don't we?
You ain't lying.
We fake it till we make it. I have no shame. I fake it till I make it some days. Seriously. 4, channel your inner rock star.
Party like a rock star. Party
Right.
like a rock star. Party like a rock star. Totally, dude. Y'all remember that song?
Right. Albert Einstein said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Someone may be a brilliant musician, but a dreadful cook. Neither quality defines their core worth. Recognize what your strengths are and the feelings of confidence they engender, especially in times of doubt. It's easy to make generalizations when you mess up or fail at something, but reminding yourself of the ways you rock offers a more realistic perspective of yourself. Christy Overstreet suggests asking yourself, was there a time in your life where you had better self-esteem? What were you doing at that stage of your life? If it's difficult for you to identify your unique gifts, ask a friend to point them out to you. Sometimes it's easier for others to see the best in us than it is for us to see it in ourselves. That could be true. That is true. If you got a genuine, authentic friend that will do that. Yeah. 5, exercise. Many studies have shown a correlation between exercise and higher self-esteem as well as improved mental health. Exercising creates empowerment, both physical and mental. Okay. Exercise organizes your day around self-care. It's suggested dropping a task daily from your endless to-do list from the sole purpose of relaxation or doing something fun and seeing how that feels. Other forms of self-care, such as proper nutrition, always eating right, that contributes to good self-worth and self-care. Proper nutrition and sufficient sleep. Sleep is also a necessity. It's a must. You have to get proper sleep. I know for me, if I do not get proper sleep, and I can't tell you I get 8 hours of sleep because I don't. But when I don't get, 6 hours of sleep, like I'm off. Honestly, if you don't get proper sleep, you're off. It does play a big factor. Sufficient sleep have also been shown to have positive effects on one's self-perception. I'm almost done, you guys. 6, do unto others. It is suggested volunteering to help those who may be less fortunate. Being of service to others takes you out of your own head. When you are able to help someone else, it makes you less focused on your own issues. I believe that to be true. When you volunteer and help others.
But it also makes you realize that your problems are not as serious as someone else's could be. Because there's some people that's in worse positions than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to just take yourself out of the equation, like, you know, take your selfishness out of it and think of, you know, the world as a whole and from a humanitarian mindset. Like, you know, damn, this person is going through this, is going through that. They made it through this, they made it through that. So if they can push through, I can too. Why am I making it such a big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Look at what they went through. If they can survive through it, I can too.
Absolutely. I mean, for real, you know, and some of the ways that they're saying that you can, you know, use your time to volunteer. Examples are helping at a homeless shelter or animal shelter, giving of time at a Big Brother sister organization, you know, etc. There's so many organizations out here that are always looking for volunteers to come out and be helpful. So please, I encourage you to do that. I mean, it just makes you feel, I know for me, let me speak for me. I can have been in different situations. It's just so nice to have known giving back to that is a blessing in so many ways. And I'm not talking about financial. I'm talking about just spiritually. It just blesses you and it makes you feel good mentally too. Mm-hmm. For me, I can't speak for nobody else out here, but for me it does. And I need to apply that because I have slipped with not volunteering the way that I used to, but I'm going to get back into that. So the proof is just in the pudding. I'd rather be about it than speak about it. This is a tough one for me because this is my big work in progress. Number 7, forgiveness. Whew. This is my big working. This is a for real work in progress for me. Forgiveness, because I have been the individual. I will go in the archives and I will pull it out from back in the day, what you did to me, what you said to me, you know. And so I know that I do recognize or realize that that's something that I have to let go of in order for me to move forward. But again, I'm not perfect. And I have my moments, and I currently have moments about a lot of forgiveness that I'm working on right now. So 7 is forgiveness. Is there someone in your life you haven't forgiven? An ex-partner, a family member, or yourself? By holding on to feelings of bitterness or resentment, we keep ourselves stuck in a cycle of negativity. If we haven't forgiven ourselves, shame will keep us in this same loop. Forgiving self and others have been found to improve self-esteem. Perhaps it connects us with our innately loving nature and promotes an acceptance of people despite our flaws. And this person refers to the Buddhist meditation on forgiveness, which can be practiced at any time. And it says, if I have hurt or harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask forgiveness. If anyone has hurt or harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive them. For the ways I have hurt myself, knowingly or unknowingly, I offer forgiveness. And that was a very small Buddhist meditation on forgiveness. And the last is, remember that you are not your circumstance. Finally learning to differentiate. Thank you. Between your circumstances, I got tongue-tied, people. Between your circumstances and who you are is key to self-worth. Recognizing inner worth and loving one's imperfect self provide the secure foundation for growth. With that security, one is free to grow with enjoyment, not fear of failure, because failure doesn't change core worth. We are all born with infinite potential and equal worth as human beings. That we are anything less is a let me read that again to make sure I'm reading it right. That we are anything less is a false belief that we have learned over time. Therefore, with hard work and self-compassion, self-destructive thoughts and beliefs can be unlearned. Taking the steps outlined above and a start in the effort to increase self-worth, to recognize self-worth, it already exists in each person. I thought that was such a really cool, awesome key points, like 8 ways to improve your self-esteem. That's something that I'm definitely gonna.
You gotta bang that in your head though, like
right.
And
like
practice
I'm gonna
those
take
all
every
the time,
every day. Like I'm gonna really take this on my personal quest, not only for for myself, as all of these articles that we read, we're gonna put out, but that's one I'm definitely gonna take for the team, because again, that number 7, that's a big one for me. Forgiveness. I'm not in that place for some people or some situations to forgive, but I do recognize that it has to happen. So I have to be the person, because people can tell me all day what I should have, could have done, but it's really at the end of the day for me to achieve that, because I have to have peace with that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool to read.
Absolutely. He had a lot of great tools, but a lot of great words, a lot of wise words that you can definitely apply to your life, to make the quality of life better, enrich yourself. So yeah, I'm definitely down with that. Yeah, it's something you can practice every day. Mm-hmm. So is there anything you want to read before we get to the next topic?
I don't think so. I mean, if I have anything, it'll just be posted up.
Okay.
I was just kind of, for some reason, I was led through looking through my stuff. My intuition, it led me to tap on that link, and that popped up, and I thought that was pretty cool to read.
Coming from the creator itself,
right?
It's giving you signs.
Mm-hmm.
It's letting you know something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to go on to our next topic, which is teen dating violence awareness. All right, it's for the February month, okay? So I have an article coming from nrcdv.org, and it's just really small article. It's not really long. I mean, of course, they have sub menus. Well, they have main menus and they have sub menus. They have what's DV about. They have his history. They have purpose. They have advisory group. They have flavors.me, and they have contact, and they have other little resources here on the side and on the top, of course, and even organizations that are involved with this company, and even posted on this website. That's, I'm sure, is resourceful. So if you want to check it out, please do. I advise you to. Okay, so give a little tidbit on teen dating violence. Every year, approximately 1.5 million high school students nationwide experience physical abuse from a dating partner. It is also known that 3 in 4 parents have never talked to their children about domestic violence. In light of these alarming facts, every year during the month of February, advocates join efforts to raise awareness about dating violence, highlight promising practices, and encourage communities to get involved. There are many resources available to provide information and support to victims and assist service providers and communities to decrease the prevalence of dating violence among young people. Anyone can make this happen by raising awareness about the issue, saying something about abuse when you see it, and organizing your community to make a difference. And they have an exclamation point. Take action. So, and then the next headline here says, learn about teen dating violence. So, TDV is defined as a pattern of So TDV is defined as a pattern of abuse or threat of abuse against teenage dating partners occurring in different forms, including verbal, emotional, physical, sexual, and digital. TDV occurs across diverse groups and cultures. Although the dynamics of TDV are similar to domestic violence, the forms and experience of TDV, as well as the challenges in seeking and providing services, make the problem of TDV unique. The National Resource Center on Domestic Violence and VARNet have developed an online special collection, preventing and responding to teen dating violence. And you can actually click on this because it's highlighted in blue. So check it out if you can. Recently updated, this special collection emphasizes collaborative and multi-level approaches to the prevention of and response to teen dating violence. This year's updates include additional resources for teachers and school-based professionals and a new section to support the efforts of pregnancy prevention advocates and adolescents, sexual health practitioners, in addressing adolescents' relationship abuse. And then they have the last part, which the headline reads, Start Talking. For the past 10 years, Break the Cycle and the Love Is Not Abuse campaign have been hosting It's Time to Talk Day. So if you want to learn more about that, I advise you to click on this little link. It's highlighted in blue. It's Time to Talk Day. So check it out. This awareness campaign aims to generate conversations about healthy relationships and prevent teen dating violence and abuse. This year, the No More campaign developed a toolkit titled How to Start a Conversation, talking about dating and healthy relationships step by step. So that's all highlighted. How to start a conversation talking about dating and healthy relationships step by step. Check that out. And the part that says no more just says no more. That's a campaign, but that's highlighted as well. So go check that out if you can. Because starting a conversation with teens can be daunting, the toolkit provides parents with an easy-to-follow guide complete with sample open-ended questions to start a conversation about teen dating violence. And on their website here, they have a YouTube video that you can check out about talking about teen dating abuse, and is in partnership with whatever company that they're partnership with. So definitely check it out. And I want to read one last part. This is something here. This bottom part I want to read. Okay. Healthfinder.gov. This is on their site. Because I was already on nrcdv.org. But this last part that's on healthfinder.gov. How can you help spread the word about teen dating violence? Bringing awareness for the February month. Really just 365 the whole year, because teen dating violence, it goes on.
Right.
It's continuous.
Right. It just don't stop in February.
No.
All of these that we've ever read
don't stop on a particular month.
Exactly.
So you can make a difference. They have a toolkit full of ideas to help you take action today. Add information about teen dating violence to your newsletter. Tweet about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. Add this webpage to your website. Join the conversation about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And there's one more part here. I should have read this part, but I'm going to read it now. That's spreading the word, what I just read. That was 4 bullet points. Now there's 3 bullet points for making a difference far as teen dating violence and bringing awareness to that issue. The few ideas they have is encourage parents to talk with their teens about healthy relationships, ask teachers to hold classroom discussions about dating, violence, and prevention, or to invite speakers in to talk about these issues, and help schools create policies that support healthy relationships and involve student voices. So these are a lot of great tools that the teens and parents and the community and the school teachers can use to make sure that teen dating is healthy as much as possible. I feel like if a teen going through violence though, whether that's verbal, physical, sexually, whatever, if they're going through that, then apparently there's some problems going on at home, not just with their parents, but with themselves. They battle within themselves to even get to that point of even violating your mate like that.
Right.
So that needs to be dealt with first. Like, what's going on with that person? That's when mental health comes in. And with all we just read from these topics, you notice mental health comes right back in the fold every time.
It has some type of connection.
So that's the root. So you got to get to the root of the problem, and that's the mental health. What drove them to that point? Like, what landed them there to even commit an act like that? So you got to deal with what they have going on at home and with themselves. If they got to go get some therapy, please do so. If they got to sit down and talk with their parents and see how they can work out their relationship as a family, then do so. I mean, it starts with self-healing. And like you say, Jade, self-care is so important. We got to practice that in order to move forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just crazy how everything kind of ties into mental health. It's real. And it's unfortunate that some of these people out here in the world, they use it as an excuse, as a crutch, because there are actual individuals that, that have a mental health diagnosis that really want help, or they're really seeking treatment, counseling, therapy, whatever.
It's not a game, man.
It's not a game for a lot of people. So we're not all out here seeking attention.
No. Stop that. Stop
putting us all in one box, please. I take offense to that. Because I don't look for self-pity. And anything I've ever been through in life, any type of trauma that I've ever been through in life, I've never looked for pity. I've always tried to help myself to do better. Because I don't want this. You think I want to have self-esteem issues, depression issues, negative self-talk, voices I hear, shit I see, PTSD, panic attacks, anxiety?
But y'all act like she want this or I want this, or anyone that suffer with mental health want this. We don't want this.
Right. We didn't ask for this. I mean, I see it. I see what I do see is it is a gift, an ability, a gift sometimes that I'm able to, I don't know, like my intuition or that third eye, for those that know what that third eye consciousness is all about, I do see it in a positive aspect of that. But I don't ask for this. I don't ask to have insomnia and can't sleep. I mean, for real, like a lot of us don't ask for that. A lot of people don't want to be on medications. We don't. I mean, I've cut mine down a hell of a lot. Used to be 22. Now it's 3. So I don't ask for it because it's side effects of side effects of side effects. And all these pharmaceutical medicines are doing more harm than good. For real. So people take alternatives, doing cannabis, and we're gonna have a guest on about that too. Cannabis and hemp and the benefits of that plant that's from the earth.
And just know there's a difference between hemp.
There's a difference
and cannabis. Okay,
there is a difference, and again, we're gonna have a guest on that's gonna speak about that. So listen. We not trying to just stop putting us all in the same box, because that's very annoying. So, I want to read this article. No, you didn't. Okay. I want to read this article, and it is recent. It's one from February 12th, 2018. It's in regards, it says, dating violence survivor shares story during Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. It says one survivor shared her story and hopes it will keep at least one teenager on the right path. With February marking Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, it is a national initiative to shine a light on dating abuse among young people. According to the Center for Disease Control, CDC, 1 in 3 teens in the U.S. experiences physical, sexual, emotional, or verbal abuse from someone they are dating. A dating violence survivor, who we'll refer to as Monica for the protection of herself, for safety purposes, shared her story of survival. Monica is not a teenager, but felt it important to share her story, hopeful it will keep at least one teenager on the right path. Monica said she and her 6-year-old daughter are lucky to be alive. The pair moved to Killeen, I believe that's Texas, a few months ago to start a new life with Monica's boyfriend, Paul, who she said is a drunk and verbally aggressive. Monica knew she should leave the relationship, but gave things one more chance. I said, let me put in more effort. Let me just give this a chance and really try, Monica said. However, one night the abuse turned physical. Monica cooked some fish for dinner. Paul came home that night drunk and upset with the smell. He grabbed me by my throat, bashed my head against the wall. He was choking me. I could not breathe. I was crying. I was just hoping and praying my baby didn't come in there, Monica said. However, her daughter did come into the room. Startled by the commotion, that's when she said Paul grabbed the child to try and keep them from leaving. He's pushing the door to keep me out while I'm pushing the door to get my baby. She's screaming and crying. I grabbed her and we take off. He starts hitting me again and my daughter says, just leave my mommy alone. Leave me alone, Monica said. Monica and her daughter eventually escaped and called the police, who arrested Paul. The officer helped Monica get into Teach Them to Love Outreach Ministries. It's a resource for dating violence victims. Lolita Gilmore, the organization's executive director, said it's important parents talk to their teens now to prevent a lifetime of pain. And that sounds like that's something that you were saying as you were reading, that you need to talk to these teens.
Yeah.
You need to.
Got to.
You need to listen to them, please. You need to listen to them.
You just don't know what's going on.
Exactly. You know, they go elsewhere for someone else to listen to them, and sometimes that's a positive thing.
It could be a negative outcome too.
Negative outcome as well. Exactly. Right. Love shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't be afraid, and you shouldn't be afraid to tell your parents. A lot of times it's happening right under our noses, and I think you was talking about that too. Right. A lot of times these situations are happening at home. Mm-hmm. Right now, children are learning what is happening in the home and how to have relationships. We need to show them what a healthy relationship looks like, Gilmore said. Gilmore also said warning signs to look out for include the teen isolating their partner from family and friends, demanding their social media passwords, and being overly jealous. Thanks to the program, Monica and her daughter are receiving food, shelter, counseling, job assistance, and so much more. Monica wants teens to know violence should never be tolerated, especially by someone you love. You're living in fear. You're having someone physically hurt you, emotionally hurt you, and that's no way to live. That's not love, and that's not life. And you should want more than that, Monica said. Teach Them to Love Outreach Ministries is holding a Shades of Purple Domestic Violence Awareness Ball March 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. The ball is going to take place at the Fort Hood Officers Club. That's in Fort Hood, Texas. So this article will be posted if you are in that area and you're interested in volunteering or supporting, the information will be right there. There's going to be a link that you can go to for the Teach Them to Love Outreach Ministries. And also there'll be more information about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. There's a link that you can click on as well. But again, even though she's not a teen, she still went through the same, like she went through that abuse.
Oh yeah.
You know, and she's reaching out to these teens
right.
to let them know that you do not have to go through this. And again, parents, you need to learn to listen to your kids instead of always yapping your mouth.
You're thinking you know everything.
Listen sometimes. Just learn to listen because, again, as Monica stated, I believe Uno, she mentioned it as well, and I'm saying it again, it could be happening right in your home, right up under your nose, and you don't even know it. Because a lot of times teens are scared to speak up because they're going to think they're going to get in trouble or they're not going to be believed. You're not going to believe them.
Right.
They try to tell you, but you, no, you just want this attention and you just want my man and I can't stand you, or, you know, I finally got me a man and here you come being a whore and just being disrespectful, calling them all kinds of disrespectful names. Really? You should never, ever let anyone, man, woman, anyone come before your children.
But you know, a lot of these sorry ass women do it. That's what always pisses me off about them. Like, you really put a fucking man over your own children, flesh and blood, the ones that you birthed, that brought into this earth, that you supposed to swore to protect, because you lonely and you got low self-esteem. And you feel like you obligated and owed to have some sort of relationship without the children getting in the way. Well, sorry, honey. Look, y'all. That's how it is. Once you have kids, it's not about you no more. And if you wanted it to be that way, you should have thought that before you had kids. You knew what the odds was. So why the hell you have kids if you're going to have that kind of mentality? That's what I don't understand. It's just that fucking simple. Too many people making excuses to to the shit they do. It's just crazy. I mean, but you're right though. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. Cause that's a serious issue, Jade. I mean, you see how these kids going out, man, and it just makes the situation worse when you find out your mother just turns against you. They're not with you. They're not supporting you. They're not loving you. They're not caring for you. They literally hurt you, destroyed you. And that's adding on top of the mental health you already got. Now you have more issues you got to deal with. And then, you know, when them children get to a certain age, they're going to have a lot of problems.
Right. They're not going to have healthy relationships. They're going to have, they could have a high potential of a sexual life with many different partners. They could be turning tricks out here in the street. I mean, it's endless to what could happen to them. And then they go out of their blood family and they go to these streets, and these streets become their family, but it's really not healthy at all, because then they get turned out. They get turned out.
Right. And then, and then on the flip side for
sex trafficking.
All that. And the flip side too, if, you know, being a male, if you went through that.
Oh, the boys too. They not excluded. You
right. You know, I mean, turning tricks too. They turn to violence. They in the streets. You know, some of them might want to question their sexuality because they might be battling that. It's just so many. It's so many factors, man, that you gotta consider.
Drugs, alcohol,
all kind of stuff, man.
Woo. Just you're right.
More problems on top of more problems. I mean, so many issues at hand when you end up in them kind of situations.
And that just kind of bring me real back quickly to Jermaine Moore. Yes, I'll put your name out there, you ass. Jermaine Moore. Am I saying his name?
You said it right.
Okay, Jermaine Moore, because I don't want to stop saying his name.
You remember that name, boy.
Jermaine Moore, because that really affected me with that situation of that little girl who was 5.
Fucking sick, man.
Who was probably 6 and under, or 5 and under, who had on social media the video that was going viral.
And he got off on that.
Right, and he got off on that little girl performing sexual acts on him, and her stupid ass mother condoned it.
And there was a guy actually filming it and watching it himself. As Jermaine Moore is having girl doing sexual acts against her will.
Right. And the mother again condoning it because she put that man first before her child. As so many stories that you hear of these women putting these men first. And then you're putting your child at risk because you leave these children, and not all men are bad. I'm not saying that, and I'm not dogging all men, but for the men who are, yes, I'm dogging your ass out. So you put your children in these men's care, so you think, and they wind up, if they don't kill them, they severely beat them or abuse them verbally, sexually, or whatever.
Always come to sexual.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
They just get off
right
on that. And that just does something to me.
It's disturbing, man.
It's
sick.
Wow.
I got no respect, no sympathy, no empathy. As far as I'm concerned, so blow his motherfucking brains out, cut his fucking penis off. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Jail is not enough. You can't rehabilitate someone like that. The only way to solve that is by death. And that's it. Bottom line.
So, just quickly as we're both talking, and I'm talking and I'm scrolling, and it just really
I just
pisses
can't
me
take
off.
it. I can't take it.
You know,
with that. It's just disturbing.
It says, they start as early as middle school. So they start young. And some people may feel trapped, and believe it or not, dating abuse is occurring as early as 6th grade with some of these kids. So again, here are some of the things that the perpetrator might do. 1, are they trying to isolate you from your friends and your family? 2, are they hitting you? 3, are they verbally being abusive to you, calling you out of your name? Again, there's looks like some resources in here in this small article. It says here, usually 80% to 100% of them will say more than I can count. It's just I know where I wanted to read where it has. Well, you can read this, guys. You can read this small article. It has a resource in here, and please just again listen to your kids. Listen, and look at some of the signs that they may give you. And I wish well for people, because it's not a game. It really isn't. This is real, and this is happening. This is not fake. This is not this is not fake. Everybody think everything is so damn fake. Like, wake up. You just sound stupid. Everything a fake though? You must be fake, because I mean, come on, really?
I understand there's fake stuff out here. We're not excluding that.
No, we're not excluding that. There is a lot of false out here, but there's a lot of truth to a lot of things that's
some
going
things make
on.
sense, right?
Right, exactly.
You don't need to prove it when the truth is out here. What more proof do you fucking need? Would you need some documentation, some recital information? You need a picture. You need a snapshot. Like, y'all doing way too damn much. It's not that deep. Okay, so chill the fuck out.
I know. It's just crazy.
You got another article before I go to one?
So I'm just going to read the titles of these, and then definitely you can read this. This is coming from psychcentral.com. So that is psychcentral.com. psychcentral.com. And this is going into if you are a teen or in your early 20s and are at all uncomfortable in your relationship, you should probably trust your gut. Here are the most important signs that you aren't loving or being loved right now. Your boyfriend or girlfriend, number one, it says, is your everything. I'm just going to read the titles and you can read the rest. 2, gets unhinged if you talk to, text, or hang out with other people. 3, refuses to introduce you to his or her friends and family. 4, goes through your email, your text messages, or your phone record. 5, is jealous or tries to make you jealous. 6, doesn't take no for an answer. 7, threatens to commit suicide if you leave. 8, are regularly arguing, accusing, fending off accusations, putting each other down, defending against put downs, and fighting. 9, I think there's just 9. Yes, 9, physically hurts you in any way. If you are worried that your relationship has become abusive, the National Dating Abuse Helpline is available 24/7 to teens and young adults. Peer Advocates offers support and advocacy to young people in abusive relationships and to the people who care about them. Text LOVE IS, that's LOVEIS, to 22522, or you can call toll free 866-331-9474. You can learn more about this organization by clicking here. So that's definitely going to be posted up because it's real. That's all I have to say on that.
Hey, people got issues, man. They need to work them issues out. That pattern cannot keep going on. All it does is hurt you, hurt others. It messes up your entire future. And yeah, people are dealing with a lot of demons. People deal with that act in that way, in that sort of manner. It's just ridiculous, man. It's crazy. But I do have an article from loveisrespect.org. This article, okay, now the main word they're using is stealthing. 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 Again, STEALTHING. Okay? When consensual sex becomes rape. In the previous entry, we talked about the idea of sex and consent being mutually exclusive. You can't have sex without consent because sex without consent is not sex, it's rape. It never gets easy when we hear about rape and abuse here at Love is Respect, but we also know that things can get complicated sometimes. So what happens when people experience other types of abuse that are not so easy to identify, like stealthing? We can tell you, victims often feel confused, ashamed, and they're not even sure how to digest what just happened to them. They just know it's not right. They weren't looking for it. They didn't deserve it. So what is stealthing exactly? Stealthing is when a partner secretly removes a condom during sex without the other person's consent. Yep, you read that right. Condom removal without the other person's consent. Like, how? Isn't that rape? Can it happen to you if you are in a committed long-term relationship with someone? Sadly, yes and yes. We know stealthing is not new. In fact, it's probably as old as condoms themselves. Think 300 AD, according to some studies. But we do know that the reasons why someone may want to stealth a partner can be rooted in the desire to exert power and control over another human being. At the end of the day, stealthing is disrespecting someone's trust for the other person's sexual gain, and that is not okay. Sex can be a normal part of any relationship in which two, sometimes more, people engage in something that is consensual and meaningful to them, regardless of being in a long-term relationship or not. Why would anyone want to stealth another person? Here are a few ideas. Stealthing can be considered emotional abuse. Even if you had consented to going all the way with someone, that doesn't mean that the person you consented to have sex with has the right to bypass said consent and use it to violate your body by removing a condom during sex without your permission, because that is what stealthing does. It violates your body. It violates the trust you place in the other person and the agreement you had with that person to respect each other's bodies and feelings. Therefore, when someone deliberately does this to hurt you, there's no doubt they're engaging in emotional abuse. Number 2, stealthing can also be considered sexual abuse. Although we are seeing and hearing about more stealthing cases every day in the media, there's currently no formal legislation on sexual assault and rape that identifies stealthing as sexual assault, but that might soon change. In the fall of 2017, members of Congress requested a hearing in the House Judiciary Committee to address stealthing as an emerging legal problem. They argued, and rightfully so, that stealthing can have devastating effects on a person's health and well-being. Why? Because if a partner removes a condom during sex without telling the other person, it can lead to unwanted pregnancies and catching a sexually transmitted disease. Number 3, stealthing perpetrators rationalize it. It feels better without a condom. Choosing to have sex without a condom for your own sexual gratification sounds great until you consider one of the very real health implications like STDs. Non-consensual condom removal leaves you and your partner vulnerable to catching STDs such as chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, and HIV, some of which can cause infertility and other long-term health concerns if left untreated. Remember, while some STDs are totally treatable, others are not and can stay with you for a lifetime, often without symptoms. But just because they are symptomatic doesn't mean you can't still pass them on to future sexual partners. Number 4, stealthing can be used to get someone pregnant and stuck in a relationship. As we mentioned before, no one has the right to control another human being or their body. Therefore, stealthing can be used as a manipulative technique for further coercion and manipulation. If survivors found themselves pregnant and with no resources or anyone to turn to, the perpetrator has won in their quest to continue exercising power and control over the victim by creating a lifelong tie between them. 5, stealthing can be rooted in misogynistic thinking. Researcher Alexandra Brodsky published a study about stealthing in the Columbia Journal of Gender and Law, and some of her findings were disturbing. After interviewing several men and women who have been victims of stealthing, reading online forums, and conducting research, Brodsky found out that stealthing perpetrators justify the behavior by using misogynist rhetoric like stealthing is a man's right and a male's natural instinct, or that women deserve to be impregnated, and that men are supposed to spread their seed even when reproduction is not an option. If you've been a victim of stealing, or if you fear it may happen to you, here are a few ideas that may be of help. So they have a few here. They have, don't blame yourself. Although you may have consented to having sex in the first place, you consented to having protected sex. If your partner decides to remove the condom during sex, please remember that was your partner's choice and that is not your fault. Okay? Get tested for STDs or pregnancy. So, yeah. And I'm going to read this one sentence here. It says, although certain things may fall out of your control in this life, you always do have control over your body and reproductive rights. Okay? Trust your gut. If something don't feel right, it probably isn't. Don't be afraid to speak up just because you're afraid of upsetting the other person, or out of fear the person may want to lead a relationship. You have rights. Okay. If you don't feel safe asserting your rights with your partner, that is a big red flag that you may be in an abusive relationship. When in doubt, check it out. If you feel your partner may be capable of removing a condom without your mutual consent, it may be helpful to keep an eye out for it, especially if they're acting suspicious or if they pretend to adjust the condom during sex. Okay. Keep the lights on if you need to, or conduct a manual inspection to confirm the condom is still in place. Bring your own condoms. Whether you are having casual sex or sex in a committed relationship, it may be helpful to bring your own condoms if you feel your partner may tamper with them. Even when a condom may look brand new, they can still be broken inside and made to look like new if a partner has the intention of stealthing you. Lastly, reach out to a lover's respect advocate for help. Look, we are not here to judge you or tell you when to have sex or whom to have sex with. However, we can tell you this. You deserve a healthy relationship that is based on trust, respect, and healthy communication 100% of the time, because you matter. Don't let anyone tell you or make you feel otherwise. And I like that part. Mm-hmm. Because you matter. Self-care, y'all, it comes back to self-care. It's coming back. I see the mental health, and it's coming back to loving yourself. Look out for yourself. You come first. You matter. All right. So I need to talk about this damn article here. I mean, what the hell? I mean, is that serious for you to get a nut? I know a lot. I've heard a lot of dudes say that it feels better without the condom. They don't like the way it feels when they have sex with a condom. Okay, now, for men who manipulate women to not have sex without a condom, without the female's consent, is really fucked up. Like, you have to be respectful. If you can't respect that, then that's someone you don't need to be with. You need to go be with a female who don't mind getting it up in her raw and call it a day. Because all that does is hurting her. That includes her life, her whole well-being, and just her life in general. It's hurting everything. And that could possibly affect relationships in the future for her as far as with males. So, men have to be mindful of that. Like, and that's another thing, because, I'm not saying all men do, but enough of them look at women as objects anyway. Something they can conquer, something they can get up in, and that's it. Now, the one thing that that people don't talk about is about the women doing the same thing. You hear about these, not just rappers or entertainers, but you hear about regular men, just regular males out here in life, regular folk, who encounter women that put holes in the condom And then, as he putting it on, he's thinking, it's a brand new condom, and and it's well protected. And then when he has sex with her, then next thing you know, she claiming she pregnant, and that's her way of trapping the man. Or even if it's not with the condom on, he might have took the condom off after they had sex, and she found some way to insert the semen out of the condom into her. That's still without his consent. So either way, if the man is stealing or the woman is stealing, that is considered rape, because you're abusing that person. You're taking advantage of someone that doesn't want to be taken advantage of. But yeah, so I wanted to actually speak on that one side of I'm hearing about this side of stealing, far as men taking advantage of women. It's just wrong, period. That should not be tolerated at all. But you don't hear a lot of people speaking about women doing the same thing. I think equally is wrong.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be some self-respect and respect for others. Temples. They're temples in their bodies. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, you gotta be one sick person to just feel like you just owed and obligated and feel you have the right to just take somebody's, manhood or womanhood. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that just sounds crazy, though. I know it does happen a lot, I'm sure. But yeah, people only think about themselves. That just shows you what kind of world we're living in. People only for themselves. In the hell with everybody else. That's why you, as a person, as an individual, you need to worry about yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You need to look out for self. Make sure you aware of your surroundings. You aware of who you hang around with, who you associate with, who you get involved with. Because I'm telling you, man, it could be your life. It all takes is one time now, one mistake, and that's it. So you definitely got to be aware. And spirituality is also another important factor. I think the most important factor. Because like, now article said trust your gut. That's when the spirituality kicks in. Because if you know something ain't right, do not get involved in that. Don't go against your intuition, because it gets you in trouble every time. But that's definitely important to have spirituality, because you can avoid a lot of situations. So, I mean, yeah, people really, it's going back to mental health. People really need to get some help. I mean, if it's that damn serious for you to take someone's, private possession, man, I mean, there's some deeper issues going on.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I can't even.
I mean, what the hell?
I mean, it is deep. You're right. It's something real. Like, I was listening to you, and I'm like, wow. And of course, like you just said, they always quick and ready to want to.
Yeah, defend it.
Just
justify it.
Just say it's men doing it.
Yeah.
But you are so right. There's so many. There's women out here that are equally as thrown off,
man,
as the men are. Like, they do little stuff to try to trap the man. Some of these women,
it's crazy.
Because they want a baby. I mean, sometimes the way some women
and
keep
power over that person.
Keep power over that person. Let me get a baby bond, but that's not gonna keep him with you necessarily. No. That's not gonna happen.
If anything, gonna turn his ass off.
He gonna go somewhere else.
Right. He said, "You crazy. You psycho." That's what he gonna say.
Right. Wow. That's really interesting. What I guess, like,
I'm laughing because it's just crazy.
Like, what constitute like unconsensual sex? Because a lot of times these brothers, and again, it's not about knocking all brothers. This is to whom it may apply to. they think your no mean your yes. Right? Even as far as, okay, you say hello, and I get it. Hello, how you doing? Because I try not to be rude.
Yeah, hospitality,
you
right.
know, I try to be, hospitable.
Respectful and all that. Yeah.
Us northern chicks.
Right.
They always have this thing about us northern chicks. We got class with us, honey. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, you can't put all of them in a box now.
But guess what?
Yeah.
If a woman doesn't want to be bothered with you, like I'm sure if a man don't, but it's typically this whole, if a woman does not want to be bothered, if she says no,
that's what she means.
That's what it is. Her no mean her no, and just let it be. But sometimes some men have to take it further, and they call you out your name, and then they even try you by wanting to touch you. Like when I started this job where I'm at now, right, and I went to orientation, they gave us different examples of what sexual harassment is, and it's not just verbal. It could be a man touching you on your back, all different type of things. And see, because it's not enforced, I'm quick to want to enforce it, honey. So if I don't want, I don't want you to touch me. If I don't say it's okay for you to touch me, let me have my space. You just say hello with your mouth and you keep it going. Now, I'm not one of those women where I'm going to let you talk to me and think you're going to say some slick shit out your mouth and I'm not going to come back at you. Baby, through learned experience, you will get it from me. Okay? And so I don't want you touching me. I don't want you pounding me, elbowing me. Let's not handshake. Like if I'm just not in that space, just respect that.
Right. But see, some of them can't accept that.
But some of them cannot accept that. And I had to tell a couple of them, listen, I will pull the harassment card out with quick. Yeah, I will do that because this is my body, my temple. I'm not a stupid woman. Okay, so they had to back away for a little while, then regroup it, kind of check me out and be like, hey, how you doing? Okay, yeah, hey.
But that's how it should have been.
Right.
Why you had to go through all that for them to be respectful? Come on now.
It's just ridiculous.
Man, don't get me wrong. I know men think women are beautiful. I get that. I understand it. Sometimes you can't help it. I get it.
I get it.
But at the same time, man, you acting thirsty. I mean, just chill out, bro. It's not that damn serious. I understand a woman is beautiful, but can you show in that way and be respectful? Like right. You can look, but just
we are goddesses,
right? Respect her space. Gosh. All she's saying is respect her space, and let's be real about it. If she want to holler at you, she'll let you know. Trust me.
As women will let
in their own way
or individual know that we're interested. So right. Yeah, our nose do mean nose for the majority of us. I like to say. So yeah, that's really interesting. That article that
Stelden, that was interesting. I saw that article. I'm like, what the hell? I said Stelden. I said, what this is? I said, oh. As
so
I'm
women, be
it.
Careful, please,
right.
please. Yeah, bring your own. That's not embarrassing. Bring your own.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
I mean,
once upon a time I did too. Bring my own, honey. 2, 3, put them on. I don't care.
Now they talking about bring your own condoms. Now how they gonna know which one to bring? Cause don't they gotta base it on penis size? Don't they gotta call a dude like, hey, how big your thing is?
Yeah, well, you gotta bring a variety.
Oh, that's how y'all do it. That's how some females do it. Just bring a variety, and then you don't have to worry about asking.
Bring a variety.
I see.
I'm just saying, be safe, cause like you said, it take one time, and that one time. You might not get rid of what you have. It might just be stuck with you for life.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
Well, it's STD or a baby. It's
right. It's so many. It's now with these man-made diseases that's being brought out here.
A lot of
you have to be. We can't say it enough. Like you have to be careful, men and women, because the women will get your men, and the men will get your women. So you have to be careful.
Even in the LGBTQI community, it's no difference.
I don't care whatever
no damn
community
difference.
you in, you have to be careful. It's so important. important. Like, seriously, you got to be careful. Like, this is real conversation. So if you can't handle it, I'm sorry. You got to be careful where you putting your mouth at.
Yeah.
Okay. Penis, vagina. You got to be careful, because you don't know what you're gonna catch.
Yeah.
And you walking around here with your mouth all torn up. Bumps. No, I'm serious. Bumps, white stuff around your mouth. You going to the doctors because you need a shot or some damn cream. Like, I need people to be careful. Seriously, we adults on here, so we should be able to have an adult conversation. This is real
conversation.
Real conversation.
No PG-13.
Like, for real.
Dumb it down for y'all ass.
If this is something that you can't handle, or it's too much, the words that are being said, hey, you can keep going. It's okay. But I've seen some stuff, and I've been through enough stuff in my life that we need to educate each other. It's okay to have adult conversations. It's okay. We got to stop with using little cutesy ass names. Seriously. Be careful where you sticking your dick at. I said it. Be careful, lady, where your coochie going. Please stop.
Your coochie. Please. And you dudes dangalangs.
Your mouth and everything. There's condoms out here.
Stop all that swallowing y'all do.
Right. All that swallowing y'all doing. What's wrong? Do y'all know what y'all swallowing for real? Y'all can get caught up if y'all want.
Okay, your whole mouth be burning.
We've said, me and Uno have said, and this is real rap. We have said we got tested, and we had to show each other that we was all good, because we not going through the stupid shit.
No stupidity.
No, not the foolery, honey. We are not going through it. So if that person that you interested in, they not willing. Like, if you trying to see yourself long term and they not willing to go get physicals and all that, then maybe you need to reevaluate.
Yep.
And if you into wanting to hit it with him, her, she, it, we, Y, group, hey, there's no judgment on my end. I'm just saying you need to be careful. You need to use precautions. This is real, y'all. We dying off. And it's
at
not
a fast rate.
And it's not just older people. It is
young.
The millennials,
more young,
okay, that are dying off. Like, this is serious.
Yeah, like, I think serious. It's a game out here.
It is not a game out here. I care about my life. My life matters. Aisha's life, Jade's life matters. Okay, I don't know about if y'all lives matter, but my life matter.
But if you don't value our lives,
no one else will value your life nor respect your life if you don't do it first.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we said it all. We said all the words.
Right.
For all y'all holy rollers.
Holy rollers.
So it is what it is. You take it or you leave it.
It is what it is.
We're going to be good anyway, the Chit Chat Chew Show live online streaming podcast. We're going to be good. Thank you.
Oh man, you sound straight like a white girl.
We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
Alrighty.
So I would like to move. Are we done with this particular subject, or you have something else to read on? If you do, it's fine, because we still have the eating disorder to hit on.
Oh no, I'm good. Okay, no, you go ahead.
Okay, so
I froze for a minute.
Okay, so our next topic is going to be on a National Eating Disorder. What is it? Awareness Month or week?
It should be month.
I'm going to say month.
Let me make sure here. Week.
Okay.
Week.
So.
Yeah.
National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. So this is coming from the nationaleatingdisorder.org, short for NEDA, NEDA, Feeding Hope. So this is coming from the website. In the U.S., 20 million women and 10 million men suffer from a clinically significant eating disorder at some time in their life, including anorexia nervosa, which is AN, bulimia nervosa, BN, binge eating, binge eating disorder, which is BED, or an other specified feeding or eating disorder, which short stands for OSFED. The scope and severity of eating disorders are often misunderstood. Eating disorders are serious illnesses, not lifestyle choices. In fact, anorexia has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. In a national survey, 4 out of 10 people reported that they either suffered or have known someone who has suffered from an eating disorder. There is a significant lack of funding to combat eating disorder and their devastating consequences. As a result, too many individuals and families are left feeling helpless, hopeless, and frightened. Our mission. Their mission supports individuals and families affected by eating disorders and serves as a catalyst for prevention, cures, and access to quality care. Their vision. NIDA envisions a world without eating disorders. Hope for recovery. We can confront these serious illnesses with increased awareness, early intervention, and improved access to treatment. NIDA provides programs and services to give families the support they need to find answers for these life-threatening illnesses. Recovery is possible. We are working to make it happen. And you can, in this article, you can find out how in the video that's below this. They have programs and services. It says whether you have been personally affected by an eating disorder or care about someone who has. They have programs and services which are designed to help you find the help and support you need. Recovery is possible. They have their programs and services includes get screened online for eating disorder. You can contact the helpline. You can find treatment. They have support groups and research studies. They have NIDA navigators, parent, family, and friends network, loss support network, NIDA walks. They have NIDA Awareness Week, legislative advocacy, the Body Project, feeding hope, fun for clinical training, events. So they have a toll-free number if you need to call the helpline now. It's a confidential helpline. It's available Monday through Thursday from 9 to 9 and then on Friday from 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. So the toll-free number, if you need that, is 1-800-931-2237. So I thought this was really interesting, because this is another serious situation that does go on, having the bulimia and binge eating. I mean, it's so much. It's so much to it. I mean, it's how do I want to say it? It's a lot to it. Like it says, again, they have a general information where what are eating disorders, what are co-occurring disorders, trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, and eating disorders. They have warning signs. So they say, I think I've already read I have not, but I will read probably just a few things because it's a lot. It says, what are eating disorders? Eating disorders are serious but treatable mental illnesses that can affect people of every age, sex, gender, race, ethnicity, and socio-economic group. No one knows exactly what causes eating disorders, but a growing consensus suggests that a range of biological, psychological, and social cultural factors come together to spark an eating disorder. Once the disorder has taken hold, it can become a self-sustaining process that usually requires professional help and support to recover. Many eating disorders begin during adolescence, but psychologists and doctors have found an increasing number of young children and older adults diagnosed with these illnesses. The more quickly an eating disorder is diagnosed and effective treatment begun, the greater the chances of recovery. It is not uncommon for the symptoms of an eating disorder to change over time. Around half of people originally diagnosed with the restricting type of anorexia later develop bulimic symptoms, according to a study from Harvard University. Someone who primarily binge eats can transition to mostly restricting their intake later. As well, a person can recover from one eating disorder but relapse later with a different disorder. So it's a multiple. It's a lot of article. They say here 0.9% of women and 0.3% of men had anorexia during their life. 1.5% of women and 0.5% of men had bulimia during their life. 3.5% of women and 2.0% of men had binge eating disorder during their life. So there's a lot of references and information in here that you can read. I'm telling you, it's so much. It's a lot. It's a lot.
But it's helpful though, and it's good to know. You know, I mean, because a lot of people do suffer with anorexia and bulimia. I mean, it's a serious issue. And there's so many things you gotta take into play. Like you said, I heard you say, psychological, cultural, the influential part as far as the environment, mentally, socially. I mean, all that plays a part in those disorders, because it's I don't know, it's like embedded inside you and you just can't control it. That's how it's like. It's kind of like how rage is, or when you're angry, like you have no control over it. It just happens. You just can't contain it, and you try hard to control it or fight it or work on it, but sometimes it can be hard. Let's not start acting like, whatever problem it may be, that could just go away just like that, because it's always a work in progress, But I mean, I can't imagine how hard that is. I mean, I never understand it, honestly, but experiencing it with someone close in the family, I finally have more of an understanding of why people do it. I mean, it's due to a lot of things. I mean, sometimes people can't just, they can't turn it around sometimes. They just have issues that they go through. And sometimes you just have to let it play out, But I feel like people do need to get help, in order to at least try to reverse it. And that's the same thing with anger. If you have rage or anger, finding healthy ways to reverse it, where it won't not only overwhelm you, overpower you, but just really take full control of your life, and it can turn to be destructive to everyone else. Yeah.
I mean, you're right about that, because Whew, there again, I swear I need to write a book. I just can't get it from the brain to my fingers to write about my life, because I too have experienced times in my life where I clicked on the warning signs and the symptoms, I think it said, on what to look out for, and I would be that person. No one would ever know. I think I may have told one other person, not quite sure, but I've definitely told Uno before. Have been in us being involved of my past of going and just eating and then going a bathroom and throw up. I'm not all together with the politically correct words, but I want to say purge.
Hey, you gotta say what you feel.
And I just knew I threw up, and I did it quite a few times in my life, and no one knew, because I felt not only embarrassed, but I definitely felt that no one would understand, like just going through different periods of high level stress and depression in my life. I would just overeat so much, and then I just made myself sick eating so much, but also was mentally just distraught from it, that I just throw up, and no one would know, because I knew how to I don't know how to say it. I knew how to cover it up well. I guess that's the best way. And even
so, they never would have suspected it at all.
They never would have suspected it. And even being in Uno's life for what, 5? It'll be a total of 5 years, us. But I mean, I've been in situations where I've even done it being with her, and she didn't know, and I would tell her later, like I threw up. Because I just see this comes into the self-esteem with dealing with the self-esteem and just dealing with a lot of different things. I would, she didn't know, and it's not that I can't talk to Uno, because I can, but I would get into my own personal isolation that I just would do it. And so I currently at times still, I get into an emotional, I call it emotional eating when I go through things. And it's sometimes that I feel like I want to do it and I don't. And then I'll go into that situation where I won't eat, which either or is not healthy for you, and I don't know where that comes from, but to say just an overwhelming amount of stress and depression that I don't know how else to deal with it. So I told y'all I'm real about mine, and don't think that it's easy for me to say this, because I'm the type of person that I've always kept my life personal. So when I share things, it's not for the woe is me. Again, I don't look for no type of pity. It's just that I put myself out there, and it's kind of therapeutic for me, and so and plus it might reach somebody who is silent, who might be suffering. I don't know, but maybe if they hear, my experience or Uno's experience with different things or whatever, it might touch them on how to deal with things a little bit differently. So that's why I always say I'm not perfect. Every day is a day sometimes. So, but I know I'm gonna get through it.
Mm-hmm.
That I do know, because I have to do it for self first.
Got to, yeah.
And if I say that I believe in whatever I believe in, then I have to take that for face value, and I have to put my faith into action. So, right. It's serious. And people always got to stop saying, oh, somebody's just looking for attention. That's really a pet peeve for me, because I hear that a lot just in everyday life, especially at my job. People just run their mouth out loudly. And they always be quick to say, oh, somebody's just doing something for attention. Well, I feel like them running their damn mouth too damn much is attention.
And if a person going through something dark, like, maybe they just want someone to care.
Right.
You ever thought of it?
Right. They might just want that. I'm sure they probably do. Everybody
get them something to live for. That's
right.
what I'm thinking in my head. Because they're already thinking, what am I here for? I don't have nothing to live for. I'm not living. So they want to leave the earth. But maybe if they got that, that inch of hope, maybe they can turn things around for themselves. You just never know, man.
You don't.
You just don't know.
So just briefly, because it has so many warning signs and symptoms, and they're going to be posted up here. They say dramatic weight loss, dresses in layers to hide weight loss or stay warm. That would be that used to be me. In general, behaviors and attitudes indicate that weight loss, dieting, and control of food are becoming primary concerns. Refuses to eat certain foods, progressing to restrictions against whole categories. For example, no carbohydrates, complaints of constipation, abdominal pain, denies feeling hungry, evidence of binge eating, including disappearance of large amounts of food in short periods of time, or loss of empty raptors let me say that again. Evidence of binge eating, including disappearance of large amounts of food in short periods of time, or lots of empty wrappers and containers indicating consumption of large amount of foods. Evidence of purging behaviors, including frequent trips to the bathroom after meals, signs and or smells of vomiting, presence of wrappers or packages of laxatives or diuretics. Appears uncomfortable eating around others. Skipping meals or take small portions of food at regular meals. Fear of eating in public or with others. Steals or hoards foods in strange places. Hides body with baggy clothes. Definitely been there. Just different things. Teeth are discolored, stain, withdraw from usual friends and activities, looks bloated from fluid retention. So it just has a multiple amount of extreme mood swings. It has all different types of things. Then they have physical signs of eating disorder. It says noticeable fluctuation in weight both up and down, stomach cramps, menstruals, irregularities, missing periods or only having a period while on hormonal contraceptives, difficulties concentrating, dizziness, fainting, feeling cold all the time, sleep problems, dental problems, dry skin, brittle nails. Yeah, so it has a lot of different things here that you guys can read. Even if it doesn't apply to you, maybe it might be someone that you know of. Just look out for the signs, because it's real, and everyone's not always looking for attention. Like me and Uno said, maybe somebody just needs words of encouragement, or you be the best support system at that time. That
so they have a sense of self-worth.
Well, right, because damn, y'all. It's like,
I know you can't save the world. We know that.
We know. Yeah, we can't be Captain Save-A-Hose.
Nah, we can't be Captain Save-A-Hose. We can't save everybody. We know that, and we're not looking for people to do that. But have a little damn
humanitarian
sympathy, man. Have a little sympathy,
right? Like that would be cool.
It'd be totally fucking cool.
Oh. We're missing. Oh wow! How much more time we have?
Wow, we did go long, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah,
because this is such a good wealth of information.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we wanted to cut it short, so I'll read this article, and then we're just gonna have to actually touch on Black History Month. We might just do a separate whole show dedicated specifically to that. It shouldn't be anyway. Why not?
Why not?
That's a sign that's saying we need to do that separately by ourselves. So we're gonna definitely do that. We're gonna have loads of history on far as our people and all the greatness and wonderful things they have done for our race and culture. So we'll definitely come back to that another time.
I know.
So
this was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So I'm gonna read this last article, then we're gonna wrap it up. This is coming from ConsumerHealthDigest.com. All right. So, what is National Eating Disorders Awareness Week? It's an event in which thousands of people come together in communities across the country to host events and raise awareness about body image and bring attention to the severity of eating disorders. It will be from February 27th to March 5th. That's every year, of course. A lot of people are not aware that eating disorders are very common, and these are biopsychosocial illnesses illnesses that can have devastating and sometimes life-threatening consequences. The definition of an eating disorder is any range of psychological disorders that are characterized by abnormal or disturbed eating habits. The causes of eating disorders include biology, psychological, emotional health, and environmental factors like social pressure. So the week of National Eating Disorders is reminding people that there's hope and recovery is possible as long as the right kind of help is delivered to the person suffering from an eating disorder. The main problem is that many people, and this even includes healthcare professionals, don't recognize the signs of an eating disorder early enough to deliver the necessary care. So the signs and symptoms, I could say, but I don't need to reiterate because Jade pretty much said everything that it says here. So put two and two together, people. I don't have to say it again, but the symptoms that Jade said, those are the signs that you want to look for when you diagnose eating disorder, or you can spot someone who has an eating disorder. Okay, so now to the last part. If you have a loved one that has one or any of these signs mentioned, which I'm going to go back to what Jay said, the one she mentioned, it would be best to encourage them to consult a healthcare professional or specialist who can make the proper diagnosis and suggest the treatment options. In most cases, the treatment plan includes psychological and nutritional counseling. If there are already complications, it will be necessary to treat these complications using medication or other treatment procedures. And they have a list of other things here. They have that eating disorders aren't just a phase. So they have something about the 3 minutes that can save your life. They have the purpose of National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. They're like what you can do for this awareness for the week. They have a chart on here. It's about the anatomy of an eating disorder. They have the causes of eating disorders. Treatment, how to help an eating disorder. They also have sources. They have a message for National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. They have a message. And on this website, they have a YouTube video coming from Dr. Daniel Lee Grange on eating disorders treatment. And you can watch it. I suggest you go to this page, Consumer Health Digest, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you should see it. Check it out. It can be very helpful to, if not to you, somebody else. All right, so pass that information along. And that's what I want to read. And that was, that was even, that was informal too. They had some good information in there. But anything extensive, go on the website, check it out. They have so much stuff on here.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Again, we're going to do Black History Month on a totally separate show. This show was absolutely awesome, so very informative to me and therapeutic for me. So we have not forgot you guys with Black History Month. That is 365 years out of the month. So that gives us more time to pull out what we need to pull out to do our show on that.
We had stuff, but we can have some extensive stuff we can pull out on you.
Absolutely.
Put it on your ass so you can know what's up with our people and the greatness that we brung to this country and to the world as a whole.
Absolutely. So we thank you for tuning in, and we thank you in advance for the replay. Quickly, check out our website, which is www.chitchatchewshow.com. Again, www.chitchatchewshow.com. Check us out. It has all the links if you're interested in having your business advertised on our website. There's different sponsorship packages. There's a donation button that you can donate to our show. As we continue to grow, there's a guest book that you can sign in. You can check out past guests that were on our show and just any and every guest that was on our show. Also, you can like our Facebook, our LGBT Facebook, which is Lotus Monk. We're the only Lotus Monk on there. It should say Lotus Monk affiliate of. As soon as you see Lotus Monk, it's going to be us. You can like our radio show on our Facebook page, which is Chit Chat Chew Radio Show. Again, Chit Chat Chew Radio Show.
That's the Facebook group.
That's the Facebook group. Our business Facebook page is Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. Again, Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. We have a Be Authentic Facebook page, which is the B, just B, not BE, but Be Authentic, AUTHENTIC. You can like us. All of our stuff, please like us, share it, make it go viral.
Oh, and tell them what the Instagram Be Authentic is.
Okay, so Instagram Be Authentic Products.
Well, you gotta put an underscore.
Okay, so Be Authentic _products. Yes, Be Authentic _products for our Instagram page. We have a Chit Chat Chew Show.
I got that part.
Okay, well, you go ahead and do that part.
Okay. I'll just say everything else, our social media info. So our Instagram is Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We have a Vimeo, which is Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you follow us on there. A lot of our shows are uploaded on there, so if you want to check it out, you can. Please support our page. We also have a YouTube, which is called Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you can get updates on anything regarding our show. Like, comment, please. We would love the feedback, good or bad, positive, negative. It don't matter. It's all damn love at the end of the day. It just makes us better. That's all I'm gonna say. We have a Twitter at chit_chat_chew. Again, at chit_chat_chew. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Retweet about our show, about anything regarding our show. Let people know, get the word out, make it go viral. And the last thing, we also have a SoundCloud. So make sure you follow us on there. Chit Chat Chew Show. Everything is uploaded on there. Every show that we ever had. So from the past on to the present. So anything that you missed, you can definitely check the replays out on SoundCloud. I mean, of course, YouTube, but right now, SoundCloud. And I want to say one more thing. Jay mentioned the website. So we're going to get to how people can get in touch with us if they want to be featured on the show or whatnot.
So quickly, if you would like to be a guest on our show, on our podcast, you can inquire to send us your information via our business email, which is chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Again, that's chitchatchew_@yahoo.com. If you are interested in being a guest on our show, never too small or big to be on our show. We do pre-screen everyone. We get to know a little bit, fill you out, see if we're both fits for each other, because that's just what we do. That includes the artists. as well. So I'll let Uno tell you more about the artist side of it.
All right, real quick. So, artists, if you want to sing your music, whether you're a rapper, singer, spoken word artists, we don't have to worry about that too much, because a lot of the times spoken word is always something quality, so that's not too much of a hassle. But if you're a rapper or a singer, please send your music to chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Now we have a certain criteria, which is music, because we're not gonna just be playing any damn thing. So it has to fit within what we're looking for, which meaning it could be creative, it can be lyrical, it could be different, it can be thought-provoking, it could be conscious, it could be real, it could be some truth, it could be, innovative, whatever that may be, something that's gonna vibe to our souls, something we can vibe to that's gonna touch our souls. That's what we're looking for. So we can feel, we can bump to it, okay? That's the music that we're looking for, because we want the music, that frequency of music, to match the frequency of our show. It's plenty of platforms for your typical kind of mainstream music. Hey, it's plenty of platforms for that. This is not the place for it. We want to provide a platform for artists to display their other kind of music besides the stuff that everybody's used to, okay? And that's what I wanted to say. And we're going to go ahead and roll out of here.
One more quick thing before we roll out. I've got to put my faith into action like I always say. I am now branching myself out there, not only as a public speaker, but also in our own voice presenter for National Alliance on Mental Illness. So if you would like for me to come out, I'm open to come out to churches, community center, mosque. If you want me to come out to, I speak about my story, my life, hoping that if I can touch one person, somebody can relate to, just hearing my story. That's what I'm all about. I'm about being supportive, sharing resources and knowledge. So, if you're interested, you would like for me to come out and speak, you can also hit me up through chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Okay, just thought I'd put myself out there.
Hey, got to put the plug in.
So with that being said, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening, their week. Look out for us with our Black History Month show. It's going to be awesome. As we always say, take care of yourself. Self-care is a must. Make sure you take care of your temple from head to toe. Self-worth, self-love. Know thyself. With that, peace and blessings.
Have a great night, y'all.